It's me, Miss Mary, coming in for a landing. Just coming in to talk to my tribe, my TV and my village. Just wanted to say hi and thank you guys so much for the new subscribers. Thank you for engaging with me. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I mean that. Anyway, remember I talked to you, but I told you that a lot of times we're just going to chit chat, and I'm coming in for a landing. Just buried my uncle. He died like 3 weeks ago. So we just had the funeral. And this was my uncle, the one who raised me. Well, the reason why I'm talking about that is because I thought about some things. When people pass away, you start to begin to think about a lot of things, like, how they impact your life, how they didn't impact your life, the negative, the positive, and I'm just thinking about I wanted to concentrate on all the good things and not the bad things. You know what I mean? But anyway, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about the side effects of the trauma that we experience as children. I want to say that again. The side effects of the trauma that we experience of children. And the reason why I thought about it and I was going to talk about this is, number one, my uncle passed away and he helped raise me. I lived with them from the age 2 to 12. And he made a lot of mistakes, but he did get a few things right. But anyway, I was thinking about how he was 85, just passed away. Born in Birmingham, Alabama. So we know all of that. You can only imagine. At one point, I started to be wondering, I wonder what was his life story? What trauma did he experience? What was life like for him as a little boy? You know what I'm saying? I know that his mother, if I got the story right, had 15 children. But anyway, I was thinking, when I was growing up, it was nothing for my uncle and aunt and that generation to embarrass you as a child. It just came with the territory. It wasn't like I saw other kids not being embarrassed. All my aunts and all my uncles embarrassed their kids. We weren't the only ones that was being embarrassed. My cousins was embarrassed. You know what I mean? The kids down the street got embarrassed. So it was just the time, and that's how they did things. They would, children are to be seen and not heard, and it was nothing for them to embarrass you in front of adults. Like, get over here and, do this and do that. It was nothing to be embarrassed. It was nothing for them to embarrass you in the store. It was nothing for them to embarrass you no matter where we were. Because number one, there was nobody that was going to check them and say, don't talk to that child like that. Number two, they were the adults and we were the children. And it wasn't necessarily that you were doing anything wrong. It was just the way that they disciplined. And it was just the way that they did things, And I remember, I'm talking about then, I used to hate to be embarrassed. I hated it with a passion. I learned to hate it. It caused me so much anxiety to be embarrassed. Excuse me. And so, of course, my first marriage fell right into the same type of person like my uncle, somewhat. But he was an even bigger monster. He was a bigger monster than my uncle was. My uncle was not a monster. My uncle just had issues. But the man that I married, he was a monster. If you want to, I'm going to use that term. He was a monster. But anyway, along the same lines of being embarrassed, always embarrassing you, humiliating you out of public in front of people. And so as time went on and I got older and older, I could not stand to be embarrassed. And the one thing I really, really worked hard on was not to embarrass my children. And the reason why I didn't want to embarrass them, because I don't like to be embarrassed. So I never call my kids out. Like I would look at them like, come over here. I had these little ways that I did with them when they were around people or when there were people present, but I never, get over here right now. I never did that. I was like, come over here. I want to talk to you, and they would know. They would know. Or I would just look, but making sure that nobody else seen the look but them. Always shielding them and making sure that I don't embarrass them. Well, anyway, so got a divorce, got out of that, got away from that monster. And I'm going to call him a monster. Got away from that monster. And anyway, as time went on, I remarried, and that's the husband that I'm married to now. So the reason why I'm telling you this is I'm talking about childhood trauma and how it affects other people. So one day we had been newly married, hadn't been married long, less than a year, I'm going to say. It's married, it's not good with time. So all I can say is we were newly married, hadn't been married that long. And we were having a great time. It was a Saturday and we were getting ready for Sunday, and we had some extra money, and hubby wanted a couple of new suits, and we was like, yay. So we got in the car, just him and I, because on Saturday morning was always our time. That's when we did things as a couple. That's when we talked about the kids, talked about life, talked about the home, talked about our dreams and visions. That's when we made sure that we were both on the train headed in the same direction. We always went to breakfast, and everybody who knew us knew, oh, that's their time. They go to breakfast every Saturday. And that was our time to get out the house and just talk and then come back. But anyway, this particular time we went down to the warehouse. And we're at the warehouse and we're having a good time. My husband hate trying on clothes. He hated it with a passion. So get this, we're at the warehouse and you buy these suits, and when you buy these suits, they don't come hemmed. For the most part, the jacket fits, but the pants has to be hemmed. And he was like, oh, we could take them home and you could do it. No, 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 no. We paid too much money for that. The tailor is right next door. So I tell my husband, why don't we drop your pants off at the tailor, and then you and I go have lunch and we'll come back if that's okay with you. And he said, yeah, that's fine. Well, when we went next door over to the tailor said, you have to try them on. He goes, nah, I'm 32. I know I want them 32 inches long. And he was like, well, sir, I really wouldn't want to mess them up. I really need to make sure that the inseam is right. I really need you to try them on. Well, he really did not want to try those pants on. So anyway, I said, babe, just go on in the dressing room and just throw me the pants over and I'll pass them. Just throw me the pants. I was trying to make it easy for him. I said, just go in there and change, and and I'll hold on to this one suit and then I'll pass you the other one. And, I was trying to work with him and help him to try these pants on. So anyway, he went in the bathroom. He went in the dressing room, put the pants on. And when he came out, he was just standing there. Well, there was a little podium that you had to step up on, like with the wedding dress. I don't know if you guys ever went to go do a wedding dress. You know how they have you step up on this little podium. And I said, babe, you need to step up there on the podium. And there was a guy sitting there minding his business, wasn't paying me no mind. And my husband turned to me and he said, oh, you work here? And I felt like a heat wave hit me. Like, oh my God. He didn't just embarrass me. This is what I'm feeling on the inside. It's like, oh, he just embarrassed me. So, I was so embarrassed I couldn't even look at the guy to see if the guy was looking. I just assumed the guy was looking at me, So then I told my husband, I said, give me the keys. And he said, what? I said, give me the keys to the car right now. He gave me the keys to the car. And I went out in the car and I cried and cried and cried like that little girl just cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. And so don't forget now, my husband had 2 suits. So he didn't come out right away. And when he came out, he gets in on the driver's side because I'm on the passenger side. He can see I've been crying. And he opens the door and he gets in the car and he goes, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" Oh my God. He's looking at me like, "Oh my God, what happened? Something must have happened." And I said, "Don't you never ever embarrass me again in my life." I did that whoopee thing, y'all. I'm telling you, it came up out of me. I said, "I've been embarrassed all my life. Don't you ever embarrass me." And he looked at me as if like somebody had just dropped a boulder on him. He was like, "What you talking about? What's wrong?" I said, "You embarrassed me." And I'm crying and I think he could feel the hurt. He said, "I'm sorry, Mary. I wasn't trying to embarrass you." I'm like, "You embarrassed me." And so, of course, that Saturday, you know, we went on. I don't think we went to, maybe we did go to lunch. I can't remember. But he was, he was shocked. He was like, it was almost like you found out something about a person that you did not know. And that's a good example of it. He found out something about me that he did not know. Because like I told you, we were newly married. So anyway, time goes on. He says, "Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't mean to embarrass you." Well, time goes on, and so my husband, if you know, he's very, not as much now because he's gotten older and he's dealing with a lot of medical issues and stuff. So a lot of his personality has changed. He's not as uh, social as he was. So anyway, time went on, and we used to love to get together with other couples, and we love to go out. We love to go to retreats and all that kind of stuff. We loved it. We lived for it. You know what I mean? And if you're newly married, I would highly recommend that you make sure that you have other married couples and that if there's retreats at your church or retreats that you hear about, and it don't even have to be at your church, you could just hear about a marriage conference, a marriage retreat. Go, run, run. Don't walk, run to it. You and your husband go. Go, 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 go. Go. And I tell you, I promise you, you won't regret it. Along with making that date night. We had date night before the phrase came up. Every Saturday was our time to just be together. So anyway, maybe 2, 3 months had passed. And so we get invited to go to be with these other couples, right? And it was like a party. It was like a New Year's Eve party, just get together, have some fun and everything. So we went. And I noticed my husband wasn't, being his usual social self, laughing and talking. I think he was laughing and talking a little bit with other people, but he was really tiptoeing around me. And I was like, maybe he's not feeling good or something. I thought to myself. But because before, whenever we went out, we always had a blast, always had a blast. But we weren't having a blast this time. So when we got in the car, when we left that couple, I said to him, I said, "Herb," I said, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm okay." And I go, "I noticed you weren't yourself. You were real reserved. You know what I mean? It didn't even look like you were having a good time." And he said, "Mary, I didn't know what to say to you because I did not want to embarrass you." So see, all that anxiety and that pain, not only is it attached to me, now I've attached it to him. Now he can't even be himself. He can't have a good time because he didn't want to embarrass me. Because what? That's what love does. Love don't embarrass people, you know. So anyway, I didn't know what to say. I mean, I really didn't. So maybe like a month or two, and we went to a marriage retreat. The other one was a party. This was a marriage retreat. And there was a couple there that was hosting this. And I just happened to mention it to her. I said, yeah, he embarrassed me. And I told him that he embarrassed me. But now I notice when we're out, he's not as social. And you know what she said to me? She said, number one, that's your issue. And that's your problem. And you need to fix it. Number two, not only is it your issue and your problem from your childhood, now you just put him in handcuffs. You just made him a prisoner of your problem. And that hurt me so bad. She said, Mary, and I was telling her, I said, I felt like that other guy was looking at me. She said, 9 times out of 10, that guy probably didn't even hear him. And then you know what she said to me, and it stuck with me. Did you really think that this man who married you, who love and honor and want to protect you, would go out his way to embarrass you? Did you really think that? Did you really think I'm going to embarrass her? Or is it just a part of his personality? He was joking with you. And you took it to a whole new level. And she said to me, and I was like, yeah. And she said, the thing about stuff like that is, it's not necessarily what he said, but it's going to be how you respond to it. You could have easily said, because you felt the guy was looking at you, you could have said something like, yeah, and you going to pay me real good. You could have easily said, no, baby, but if they offer me a job, I just might take it because I'm pretty good at this. You could have redirected the whole thing. But instead, my childhood came before me. And I remember all those times of being embarrassed. And I lost it. So I had to learn that my husband is not out to hurt me or to embarrass me. Remember, too, I told you one thing. What did I say to you? That we were newly married. So a lot of things he did not know about me. We're still learning each other. We're still learning each other. Because even if you date for 6 months, a year, 2 years, you're still learning each other, especially when you come together and live in a house. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Whatever your childhood trauma is, deal with it so that you won't make your problem somebody else's problem. This is Miss Mary, just sharing, coming in for a landing. Just want to be totally transparent over here. And what did I tell you guys? That I'm here to help you. I'm here to share what little knowledge I have. I heard a quote the other day and it stuck with me. The reason why I'm here and on this channel is I want to die empty. And I mean that. Miss Mary is 67 years old. And I want to die empty. Which means what? I'm going to give you every nugget I got. I'm going to give you everything I got if it'll help you along your merry way. If it'll help you live a better life, Miss Mary's going to share it. I'm not going to hide anything from you. I'm going to be totally transparent about life, marriage, children. Because why? We're doing life. So I just want to come in for a landing and just share that with you. So if you need help, get help. But the main help is go to God. What did I tell you? It starts in, then it spreads out. Up, down, and out. Go up, Lord, help me. Help me. I need help. And he comes in, and then you can spread out. Right? Love you guys. I'm here for you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. It's Miss Mary. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Don't forget, deal with whatever it is you need to deal with on this side. Don't pass it on to your children. Don't pass stuff on to your kids. That's not right. If you're afraid of the worm and you're raising a little boy, don't make him afraid of the worm. That's you. If you're afraid of the spiders, don't make him afraid of the spiders. That's you and what you're afraid of. When you bring it, say, oh, baby, that is really nice. Do you want to put him over there? Don't get away, get away. No, don't put your fear on that baby. Don't make him be scared because you're scared. All right, guys. Love you. Miss Mary. Bye.